The roar of that bulldozer still haunts me, rattling the bones in my boots, tearing down my fence, clawing up the earth I'd poured my life into. And right there, standing proud and smug in the mud, is Melissa Carter, stepping out of her brand new SUV like she's some frontier queen, looking at my cabin as if it's just another square on her HOA Monopoly board. It hits me then, staring at those steel jaws ripping through everything I built, that these people weren't just pushing boundaries. They wanted to wipe me off the map entirely, like I was nothing but a wrong turn on their GPS. And what burned the most, she actually believed she could get away with it. No questions asked, no fight left in me. 8 years. 8 years of sweat, splinters, and sacrifice, and here comes the cavalry, dressed in polo shirts and paperwork, acting like I never existed at all. My name's Jack Reynolds, and yeah, I'm that stubborn old bastard who moved out here after retiring from the Army Corps of Engineers, thinking I could finally breathe, finally build something that nobody could take away. You know what I mean? Back in 2014, I found 17 acres of thick, untouched forest wrapped tight around a glacier-fed lake. Cold, honest water, no zoning, no nosy neighbors, and best of all, not a single soul telling me how tall my grass could grow or what color my mailbox should be. I spent that first year living in a beat-up old camper, hacking brush, hauling 2x4s. Every sunrise another promise that this would all be mine if I just kept at it. No debt, no mortgage, no HOA, just my sweat and the wild silence. Every inch I surveyed myself, triple-checking deeds and records, making damn sure nobody could pull a fast 1 years down the line. I named it Clearwater Bluff, not because I'm sentimental, but because it felt like it belonged to something pure, untouched. The kind of place you give a name so you never forget what you're fighting for. Day by day, I raised a 2-story cabin from cedar and stone, wrapped a porch around it like a hug, tucked solar panels into the hillside, built a rainwater system, carved a dock from driftwood and hope. And yeah, every scar on my hands, every ache in my back, it all felt like proof that I'd finally made something that couldn't be taken. By the 8th year, I'd found peace. I'd sit on that porch, breathing in the lake air, thinking maybe, just maybe, I'd outsmarted the world. Then Lakewood Shores showed up. That's the HOA, 2 miles down the ridge, all sparkling brochures and promises of lakeside living for folks who wouldn't know a real lake if it bit them. At first, I laughed. Let them have their vinyl castles, their backyard putting greens, their rules. Then, one frosty morning, I find a thick, gold-trimmed envelope tacked to my gate, inviting me, no, summoning me, to an HOA meeting about shoreline compliance. Signed, of course, by Melissa Carter, Queen of the Clipboards. There's a note on the back, real polite. Let's avoid escalation. I chuckle, toss it in the stove, watch it burn, until she calls. Her voice is all silk and ice, telling me there might have been an error in the old property records, that maybe, just maybe, my land falls under their jurisdiction after all. I say, lady, I've got deeds, surveys, the whole damn county clerk's office behind me, and if you step past my gate again, that's trespassing. She gives me that fake little laugh. No need to be aggressive. We want a peaceful solution. Sure. Then come the SUVs, parked just close enough to make their point. Violation notices show up in my mailbox, my sauna, my dock, all suddenly against community standards. They even send some clipboard inspector, trying to accuse me of shoreline damage. I invite him in for coffee, show him every piece of paper I've got, watch him squirm, and he leaves knowing damn well I'm clean. But the woods stop feeling peaceful. Every twig snap at night feels like someone watching. Then the stakes show up, bright orange, hammered right into my trail, stamped Lot 42, Lakeshore Expansion. They'd renamed my land without even asking, like they'd already won. I yank those stakes out and burn them, hands shaking harder than I'd like to admit. A week later, a letter lands in my mailbox, county seal and all, claiming my property's been annexed into Lakewood Shores by administrative action. It looks official, but something stinks. I drive straight to the county office, slap it down on the counter, and the clerk goes pale. Calls her boss. Turns out, it's a fake. The signature doesn't match anybody in that office. Someone cut and pasted this from old files. I walk out with a notarized statement. This thing's a fraud. And for the first time, I realize this isn't just harassment. It's a heist. I get home, heart pounding, And there it is, a newsletter from the HOA, glossy as a magazine. Exciting new marina coming soon. Picture perfect. And in the photo, that's my dock, my boathouse, my damn sauna, all mapped out as if they already own it. They're selling my land before they've even stolen it. I call my lawyer, Mark, show him the whole mess. He laughs, shakes his head, and says, Jack, this is more than overreach. It's criminal. We take it to the DA. The DA doesn't hesitate. He says it's fraud, plain and simple. Melissa doesn't blink. She doubles down, slapping my dock on real estate ads, pitching it as an exclusive amenity for future buyers. That's when it all breaks loose. One foggy morning, I hear engines snarling through the woods, too close. I run outside, and there's a bulldozer chewing through my fence, work crews clearing brush, dropping lumber, acting like they're on some corporate mission. Melissa walks up, all business, tan slacks, lavender blouse, clipboard gripped like a weapon. Mr. Reynolds, she says, there's no need for theatrics. This project's been approved. I hold up the court order I'd filed, stamped and legal. Any further intrusion, you're in contempt. That gets her attention. For the first time, her mask cracks. The sheriff arrives, lays down the law, arrests 2 of the workers for resisting, tells Melissa, try this again and it's you in cuffs. She storms off, but you could see it. She wasn't beaten, just regrouping. That night, I sit on my porch, beer in hand, and doubt starts whispering. Maybe I'm being stubborn. Maybe I should just sell, move, let them have their damn marina. 8 years of my life, all for what? To watch it bulldozed for someone else's profit? But then I look at my hands, at the scars and the dirt, and I remember, this place isn't just land. It's everything I am. So I dig in. We set up trail cams, catch Melissa sneaking my property lines at dusk with her ex-husband, a former county records officer. The trail leads right back to him. Forged documents, maps altered to fold my land into the development. The money trails next. Wire transfers from the developers to a shell company in Melissa's maiden name, notes attached, securing lakefront access. Phase 1 buy-in. She wasn't just bluffing, she was selling what wasn't hers. The DA moves fast, freezes HOA accounts, subpoenas their records. More dirt rises up, vandalized sheds. Not yours, spray-painted in red. And wouldn't you know, the kid caught on camera is the son of an HOA board member. They're desperate. They're sloppy. Finally, the warrant drops. Fraud, forgery, racketeering. I watch as state investigators swarm the HOA office, box up files, computers, everything. And there's Melissa, strutting out in a cream suit, wrists cuffed, her perfect smile wiped clean. Years of bullying, intimidation, backdoor deals, all crashing down. The trial's brutal. Evidence piles up, digital records, shredded originals, developers confessing, everything tracing right back to Melissa. When the verdict comes in, guilty on all counts, she finally sags, like all the air's gone out of her. 10 years in prison. HOA dissolved. Assets liquidated. Damages paid to every family she tried to rob. I don't say a word to the press. I drive home, back to Clearwater Bluff, the cabin that nearly slipped through my fingers. That night, I haul a granite stone up to the bluff, carve a plaque, built by hand, not for sale, not for stealing. As the sun dips and the lake goes quiet, I realize it's not relief I feel. It's a kind of honest silence, the sort you earn when you refuse to back down, when you watch the storm break and know you stood tall. Melissa thought she could rewrite the map, forge the papers, erase me and everything I built. In the end, truth stood taller than her lies. The law finally remembered whose side it's supposed to be on. And if there's anything I've learned, it's this. When you build something with your own hands, you defend it with everything you've got. Because if you don't, someone like her will steal it without blinking, and the world will move on like you never existed. So tell me, after all that, where do you stand? Was I stubborn, or was I right to fight? What would you do if it was your land, your legacy on the line? Drop a comment, let's hear your truth, because out here, that's all we really have left.